Hello, I'm Juliana Hever, the plant-based dietitian, and this is the What Would Juliana Do Q&A. Today I wanted to make a recipe from the Health Span solution, and it is a very simple fruit salad that you can throw together. It has really like 5 added ingredients to a fruit bowl. So it's called the Cinnamon-Pecan fruit bowl. I've got my cheat sheet right there so I remember everything. And it's a wonderful dish to have during the summer or anytime you can have these wonderful, beautiful, nutritionally dense foods available to you. So I started out already with a bowl of fruit. I have collected some berries. I've got blueberries and strawberries that I cut up, some mango chunks, and some blackberries and raspberries, and the whole rainbow in a dish. And you know, there's also kiwi in this recipe, but I don't like kiwi, so I didn't add the kiwi, but you could use any kind of fruit that you love. Sometimes I like kiwi, I should say that, but okay, so we put this together into your bowl, and now we're gonna prepare this kind of fun topping, this pecan, spicy, sweet, awesome tasting topping that you could put on top, sprinkle on top. So I basically have a 1/4 cup of chopped pecans. You can buy the full pecans and smash them yourselves. This time I bought the already crushed ones just to make things a little quicker. And I'm going to take these, and I've got a pan on the stove. It's hard to see, and I'm going to toast them on here. So I'm going to put them on. Now I will tell you that you have to stay close because they will burn quite rapidly, and we don't want to have to burn and waste our pecans. I say pecans, but it's pecans. I'm sorry, I think. I'm at Los Angeles based, and I'm learning about pecans because I didn't grow up eating them. My father has a horrible allergy to nuts, and so I had to learn about nuts and as I grew up and started eating a plant-based diet because they are so nutritious. And let's talk about that for a moment. I recommend you eat 1 to 2 ounces of nuts and seeds a day, or it's about 30 grams a day minimum. And you want to have really like a handful. And you could do this in so many different delicious ways. They are so important for things like L-arginine and the there's all sorts of wonderful nutrients, vitamin E, that are slightly unique to nuts and seeds. So you want to make sure you're consuming them. You can add them to salads, you can add them as a dressing. My favorite way to do it is to use them in sauces and dressings, and then pouring those sauces and dressings over salads or vegetables or other things, because it's just a nice way to get them. And also the fat that you find in the nuts and seeds will help with the absorption of the phytonutrients and certain nutrients, the fat-soluble nutrients that you find in fruits and vegetables. So right now in my bowl of fruit, the vitamin A, the carotenoids, stuff like that will be better absorbed because I'm going to be eating them together at the same time as the nuts. So I'm just gonna make sure that I don't burn them. They are getting nice and warm and toasty. It's a fine line between being just right and burnt, and we don't want that to happen. We don't want to waste them. The other thing about nuts and seeds is that because they are higher in fat, you want to store them in a cool environment. So I often store my nuts and seeds in my fridge or my freezer because they will stay extra cold, and that will prolong their lifespan, because you don't want them, you know, the high levels of fat, especially when it's broken up like that, when it's been crushed already and exposed, you have a higher risk for or quicker journey towards oxidation, and we don't want that. So I think these are just about done. My pan was already hot when I first put them on there to toast it. The whole house smells so delicious and nutty and toasty. So I'm going to turn off the stove. You can see they're just a little bit more brown, which is lovely. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to do it directly into the pan to keep this simple. So I'm going to add some molasses. Blackstrap molasses specifically has a lot of wonderful minerals with sizzling. You can hear the sizzle. So it has a lot of minerals in there like calcium and iron, and so it's a wonderful thing to incorporate as a sweetener. So it's not much molasses in there, but I often use maple syrup because it's more of a neutral flavor, and this has more of a very specific flavor. You can see it's blending and smells divine in here. Okay, the next ingredient I'm going to add is some cinnamon. This is some Ceylon cinnamon. I'm going to sprinkle that on top. And then I'm going to follow it up. Okay, you guys all know that I love spicy. So this is cayenne pepper, and it is technically 1/8 of a teaspoon. This may be a little bit more, and I often do add a little bit more, except today I'm going to be feeding this to my daughter, and so I don't want it to be too spicy. She's not like me yet. Although I wasn't a big spice fan until I was older anyway, so there's still hope for her. Okay, so I'm just mixing this all together like that. And I'm going to, before I add this to top my fruit salad, I'm going to take the lemon juice. It's about 1/2 teaspoon of fresh lemon juice. And I like to use Meyer lemon juice when it's available. I'm just going to pour it over here. And I'm going to toss this later. And then I'm going to just kind of toss that in, just stir it a little bit up. And then I'm just going to add this topping on top of the fruit salad. And yum, it is ready. That is so easy. Isn't that fast and easy? Just a nice different way to get your fruits and your nuts and seeds, 2 of the important components of the 6 daily threes. So here you go. This is that fruit salad, and it is the Cinnamon-Pecan fruit bowl, technically speaking, from the Housespan Solution. And this is what's for lunch over here. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave your questions and comments and recipes you'd like to see below in the comments, or via DM, or feel free to reach out to me directly on plantbaseddietitian.com. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.